Well, hello there, and welcome back to Yogi Jer Sangha. And the topic of today's video is you can't think your way into present moment awareness. But to see that everything is fine in the present, you do have to awaken to the present moment to see that. And quite often it's difficult to say, why a person might feel anxious now when everything is fine. And there's really no reason for it at the moment, right now. So is it possible that these emotions have been suppressed and then they tend to seep into your present experience? They seep into your present experience, and then when they seep in, you try to suppress them again. Now, we want to practice present moment awareness, consciousness, so that we can actually look at some of these things that are occurring. Look them right in the eye, so to speak, so that we can, accept whatever it is that's coming to us in the present. Present moment awareness is simply to be fully aware of the moment we are in, but placing strong emphasis on the to be part, because presence is being. And you can only be in the present. And if you miss the present moment or moments, it's a continuum, well then that's what life is made of. And if you miss that, then, maybe you miss life. It's important to get anchored in the moment. Often what we end up doing is trying to leap over the present moment because it seems to be in the way. It's like your life is in the way of where you're going to. You want to leap over this moment because it's getting in the way of my next moment or my next plan or whatever it is. Especially if you're feeling these uncomfortable emotions, you want to get past that. It's like, well, tomorrow I'll feel better, or whatever it is. Keep pushing your life aside. So anchoring yourself in the present as much as possible, as often as possible, is actually living a more full life. We've all heard the phrase, it's not the destination, it's the journey. Well, in the big picture, the final destination is you're just a pile of dust. So don't be in too much of a hurry to reach that destination. Stop and smell the roses. All these phrases are pretty cliche, but how so meaningful. I'm going to assume that, everyone wants, say, to feel good, to have peace and happiness. But we're anxious for this and we keep in search of that, things, external things that we think will bring us happiness. And we do this and that in the expectation of bringing happiness to us through those actions. And the strange thing to discover is that, our happiness is not in our doings. Happiness is a feeling. It's not a doing. And your happiness can only be felt in the present, not planned for in the future. Now here's an amazing insight, that one of the surefire ways to know that you're in the present is that if you're feeling gratitude, true gratitude, truly grateful for something, there's only one way to do that, and that's to be totally present when you feel that complete gratitude for something. Now, I don't mean, well, I was grateful for something in the past and I still am, or you make a list of things that you're grateful for, like I'm grateful for my house, my car, my whatever. That's not the kind of gratitude I'm talking about. I'm not making lists. I mean like a feeling of gratitude. Again, gratitude's not a doing, it's a feeling that you can only feel in the present, and you can't feel gratitude for something in the future, can you? You could have felt something that you felt grateful for in the past, but bring yourself back to the moment. If you're feeling gratitude, open up to the experience, because you are truly present. Now, this idea of time, it's actually a manufactured thing made up by the mind And all us human beings understand time, It's an important thing to function, right? If I have to be someplace tomorrow at noon, well, maybe I should be there if I just told somebody I would be, but it's manufactured. There's no such thing as time, there's only change. And change is happening ongoing. It's like floating down a river. Things go past you, but you're always where you are. And it's this time-based mentality that actually creates a lot of our suffering. Now, if you were to go out into the woods, say, like your Dr. Doolittle, and you could talk to the animals, and you went up to a deer and you said, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, do you know what time it is?" Well, I think that the deer would look up at you with a pretty blank stare like, "Huh? Time?" Like Winnie the Pooh asked Piglet, "What day is it today?" And Piglet says, "Well, I think it's today." And he said, "Well, oh, good, because that's my favorite day." Well, your mind is, an amazing thing. It's a product of, well, if you believe in evolution, millions of years of evolution has created what we are today is an extremely sophisticated thing with this miraculous mind that can think and do things, make things happen and whatnot. But unfortunately, oftentimes a person may identify with the mind and believe that you are your mind, when really your mind is a tool. It's for you to use. So never think that having a mind is a bad thing. But to discover who you really are authentically, you have to understand that you are not your mind. Your mind is yours, and it takes a conscious effort to use it. So listen to those words. A conscious effort to use it. It meaning something that's not you, but a conscious effort. You are the consciousness behind that effort to use it, the mind. Did you just understand what I said? If you do understand it, then it's likely the thinking aspect of your mind that understood it. And the most common application of the mind is understanding, trying to understand things. However, once your mind believes that it understands something, it becomes bored with the topic. The mind becomes bored with repetition, needs drama and excitement. That's why it's difficult sometimes for a person to just sit and watch clouds floating by, or to sit and watch the waves on a beach. I know, yeah, we all enjoy it, like watching the waves, but not forever, not for long. I gotta move on. I gotta get something done here. It's kind of funny that the mind gets bored with repetition, or trying to observe something repetitively, or even sitting, and doing consciously connected breathing every day, especially since if you let your mind go, what it does is just a bunch of repetitive thinking. It's like cassette players just rolling around and around and around, playing the same tapes, going back in the past and feeling the same grief, the same whatever. And then if you go into the future, then you're playing the same tape about, well, in the future, it would be nice if I have this or that, whatever, right? The mind is just a repetitive cassette, unless you actually take control of it and help and get the use of it and quiet it when you decide to. So hope you understand, but you have to use your mind to understand this, that we can't think our way into present moment awareness. Thinking and present moment awareness rarely cohabitate. Okay, so get to it. Do your consciously connected breathing. Learn to be more present. Stick with me, and I'll see you in the next video. We're going places.